Hello, all of my Immaculate Panic people. We are headed to counseling today. Traffic is insane because it is the day before Thanksgiving, and so I got to pay attention to that while I'm talking to you. So pardon me if my eyes are up here instead of on you, because that's a little more important. So one of the things the counselor talked to me about last week was making sure to only deal with the things right now that I need to deal with right now, and not worry and stress too much about the things that are in the future that I don't need to be worried about now. And that was where we talked about the compartmentalizing and things like that. And so one of the things she talked about was kind of building a container in my head, and what would that container look like, visualize it, things like that. So I actually went out and Googled. I kind of got an idea of what I thought that container would look like, and I went out and actually Googled this container so I could truly visualize this container and what I wanted it to look like, and found an image of my container. And so found one that is exactly what I wanted it to look like, ideas of how I wanted it to be. And so I have this true image in my head of what this container is and how it looks. And so one of the things she suggested, and so that you want the inside of this container to be comfortable for these thoughts and to be. And one thing she said very purposefully is that you can't put people in the container. So you have to always deal with people. You can't put people in the container, but thoughts, things like that, that are events that are in the future, things like that you just don't have to deal with those things yet, can go into that container. There was an email I had received that wasn't something I needed to deal with, so that could go in the container. Things like that. And so, and the email kept slipping out of the container that I had invented at that second, just off the top of my head during our session last week. So I needed to come up with a better container. And since the session last week, I've come up with a better container, obviously, because and the things I've been putting into my container have been staying there. It's taking some work, but I've come up with a good idea of a container. And I don't want to tell you what my container looks like because it's mine. So if it's something that you're going through, maybe that's something you can do. Because the things that these were the things that were bringing on my heavy anxiety, my heavy panic attacks, things like that literally would bring me to my knees of what am I going to do? I don't know how I'm going to deal with this, things like that. And so I'm finding myself now where I can go, you know what? Container. And the container will try to keep, to open up, and I'm like, nope, you're in the container. You don't get to come out. You're in the container. And I found a container. It's not the style of what the container is that I wanted, or that I visualized, that had a locking mechanism, and I thought, God, I need to incorporate that into my container. So I'm working on that. I'm working on putting that kind of locking system to my container. But I've got to visualize that. So those are kinds of things that I'm finding are happening. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving. So that's something I want to talk about with my counselor, is getting through the holidays without my mom. My mom passed away from complications with dementia. So the last couple of Thanksgivings were spent with my mom with memory issues. But the last major holiday that I spent with my mom was last Thanksgiving. So because I had surgery at Christmas time, so I didn't get to be with her at Christmas. So that's kind of hard because I missed that last major holiday. But I did have Thanksgiving with her, and so I have some really great pictures of me and her at Thanksgiving last year. And that's hard, knowing that I'm going into this holiday, and the last holiday I had with her was Thanksgiving. So that's something I want to kind of talk to my counselor today and process of, how do I process through with this holiday coming up. So that's kind of where I'm at going into today. Hopefully it's a good session today. I'm hoping for a positive session. Even when it's a hard session, it's always a positive session. So I shouldn't say I'm hoping for a positive session, because they're all positive even when they're hard. I'll be back on the other side, changing lanes, so driving carefully, paying attention to everything we're doing. Somebody wants to ride on my back end, and they go flying by. So anyways, see you guys on the other side, and get my cup of coffee at the beverage station. It's gonna be a good one, guys. Talk soon. Alright, so counseling went pretty well today. We did an exercise where it was if I was talking to my mom, or mom was talking to me about Thanksgiving. What would she say to me? What would I hear from her about the day? And I thought that was a really great exercise, because I still talk to my mom. I still talk to her all the time. And I still feel her all around me all the time. So that was I don't want to say neat or fun or whatever exercise, but interesting exercise to do, because I do still talk to her all the time, and I hear her voice in my head talking to me. So it wasn't a difficult exercise. One of the things that is interesting in our world of social media, my mom had a Facebook account, and so she would comment all the time on pictures and post and things like that. So when I get on my Facebook memories, things like that, and things will come up all the time that something I posted, and her words are still there for me to be able to read and see all the time. So that's something that I treasure, is that things will come up and I'll see something. Not long ago, one came up, and I had to screen capture it, because it just meant everything. There was something that I was stressing over, and I had posted about it, and all my mom had typed underneath it was just simply, "I have faith in you." And I thought that was the most incredible thing, and I thought, man, and so I screen captured it, and it's something that I want to eventually blow up that little screen capture and frame it, because I thought, is that not just everything that I need to have? Is just those simple little words from my mom that say, "I have faith in you." To just carry me through on those days where I'm just missing her like crazy or something like that, or if I'm struggling or stressing about something, just to be able to look over and see those words to say, my mom saying, "I have faith in you." So well, I'm just gonna go ahead and, on that note, call it good for today. Hope everybody has a really great Thanksgiving, and I will see you on the other side. Love love you all.